Hello, and welcome to the Knit.love podcast. This is episode 15, and I am your hostess, Stephanie. Today is Saturday, August 2nd, 2014. You can find me as Knit.love Steph on, I actually wrote show notes this week, Twitter, Instagram, Ravelry, and Tumblr. I am mostly on Instagram and Ravelry. So if you're on Instagram, you'll see a lot of my knitting there. I don't really put a whole lot of my knitting on Ravelry. I probably should, but I'm a pretty active poster. So if you're on Ravelry, look me up. Find me. I'll add you. It has been a crazy 2 weeks. I'm trying to think back to the last time I recorded, which was 2 weeks ago. Tour de Fleece started. I went to court. A lot of people know about that. I got divorced. Not really a big deal. It is, but it isn't. I'm okay, so that's all that matters. It's been kind of slow. My mom went out of town, so I hung out with my sister. My foster sister. I stayed with her. Well, I didn't really stay with her. I watched her during the day and everything while her parents were at work. And that's when I got a lot of spinning done for Tour de Fleece. A lot of spinning. I think my last count was like 2,850 yards or something like that plied. So I got a lot of it done. And that was only what I had finished. I only counted what I had finished. I still had stuff on the bobbin on my wheel at the end of Tour de Fleece that I hadn't yet finished. And I actually drop spun on the days that, like on the weekends, I drop spun a little bit, using my spindle. So I didn't count the yards for those as well. And if I sound a little bit funny, I'm getting that summer cold that seems to be going around this area, and I'm getting over it. It was really bad. It was one of those, it's really bad this summer. Like everybody keeps saying, it feels like you've got this elephant sitting on your chest and you can't breathe. They're not lying. It is awful. It's like, imagine your worst cold you've ever gotten, multiply it by 3, at least a minimum of 3. It's a nightmare. And I'm only just getting over it. Like, and my voice is like, if I talk too much, I start to get raspy, so. Ooh. Watch me just, knock everything over. I'm really good at that. So I guess, since there really isn't a whole lot going on with me, I should jump into it. The past 2 weeks, from July 5th, July 5th to the 27th, was Tour de Fleece. And for those of you who don't know, during that time, there was the Tour de France going on. It's the biking competition. Something with bike, if it's a race or just a competition. I know Lance Armstrong does it. But it goes on in France and everything. And you ride your bike a lot, essentially, across France. Well, spinners do it as well, only we call it Tour de Fleece instead of Tour de France. And what you do is every day that the bikers ride, for Tour de, I'm gonna adjust this a little bit. Sorry. Every day that the bikers ride for Tour de France, it is hot. I'm sorry. I'm like sweating up a storm. It does not look pretty up in here. I am all over the place. I'm sorry, guys. It's been one of those days. But anyway, every day that the bikers ride for Tour de France, spinners will spin, whether it be on a drop spindle, on a wheel. I know there's the electric e-spinners, something. You just spin. And the days that they don't, you don't. But they've got all kinds of different groups. Like, I signed up to be part of the Lantern Rouge because I knew I wasn't, to the best of my knowledge when I signed up for Tour de Fleece, I was not going to be able to spin every day. And the Lantern Rouge group is for those that if you can only spend just a little bit every day, or if you're going to miss a few days here and there, that's the group for you. And I ended up actually spending more than what I thought I was going to. I ended up packing up my wheel and taking it over to my uncle's house, where my uncle, you know, he's been best friends with our family for 34 years, so he's my uncle. We're that kind of a family. So while my foster sister did her thing, I spun, and I got quite a lot done. But before I show you my spinning, I think I'll show you my knitting, because I did actually get some knitting done. I cast on a few things. Let's see. Okay, the last time I spoke with you guys, I was supposed to show you the progress I had gotten done on my grandmother's Hermione socks that I'm knitting for her for the crop. And it's in this, oh, my needle poked through. It's kind of sad. It's in this bag that I won a while back in a giveaway. This, and I found my sock blockers, so I can actually find out if I put it the right way. I had finished one of them, which y'all had seen, and it's going to look a little goofy because I got it on the large sock blocker, because I've got big feet. Who knew? 6 foot tall and I've got big feet. But this is what the first one looks like, and you can actually, it's showing almost true to color because I have my lighting in a good spot, and it's Hermione's. It's done in Trekking XXL, color 532, I think. I could be wrong. Oh, I guess I didn't get it. I lied. Last week I said I'd done something, and I guess, see, that's what my meds do to me, y'all. It messes with my memory bad. But I'm working on the second one, and I have started the leg. So let me put that on here. And my sock blockers are from Knit Picks. They were really fairly inexpensive. I might make some of my own. I've seen a couple DIY tutorials. But the last time I recorded and you saw these, this was where I was at, this marker here. So I got about an inch done. And my stitch markers, if you look, this is a teapot, and this is the white hair. It's from the Curiouser and Curiouser stitch marker set by Vintage Rose Knit, or Vintage Rose Loves. She has a shop, vintageroseloves.com, I believe. She's fantastic. I love her. She makes all kinds of amazing knitting jewelry. I actually have one of her necklaces, but the chain broke, and so I've got to get a new chain and fix it. But these socks will be one of my knitting focuses, because I've got to get those and another pair of the same pattern done before September 15th, I think. Let's see. Sorry about that. I recorded on my tablet, and I have this free texting app called Text Now, so I can, if my phone dies or whatever, I can text people with my tablet, or, you know, if I'm in a dead zone or whatever. But it was saying I was getting a call, which is weird, from like a restricted number. I have no idea. Some of the other things I've been working on, I cast on, it's called the Cassiopeia shawl. I'm looking for the, let's see, where's my main page? Because I printed out the patterns. The two projects that I cast on the same day, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen them. This one is a free pattern on Ravelry. It's called the Cassiopeia shawl, and it's gonna come up backwards because this thing is dumb. But it's free. It is by Alexandra Beck, published in 2012. Let me see if I can find the pattern page that has the picture of it on it, because I thought there was one. I could be mistaken. I was mistaken. Looks like the only ones that are on it are up here. I don't know if you can see those. Probably not. But you can find it on Ravelry. That's where I found it. Oops. I'm making a mess. It calls for approximately 350 yards of fingering weight yarn, and US 7 needles, and 4 stitch markers. I like to live dangerously. I have not put stitch markers. Well, I did put stitch markers in to mark the center spine. I need to put in stitch markers to mark the border stitches, because it tells you to. It makes me do math. I'm good with math and I love math, but when it comes to knitting, I just want to knit. I don't want to have to think about, well, okay, I need to switch to doing this when there are this many stitches between these and these stitches, and I'm just like, but it is really a lovely pattern. I haven't given it too much love since I cast it on. I am dropping my needle, and I will lose all my stitches. That would not be good. I am using Lorna's Laces Mills End hand-dyed yarn in the shepherd sock, which is 80% superwash wool, 20% nylon. I have 2 balls of it. I'm having technical difficulties. Each ball is approximately 215 yards, and the color, well, of course I would tape over it. The color is 000, which is one of a kind, so it's the OAK. This is what it looks like. It's pretty true to color. It's very gray. It's like a variegated grays with flecks of like almost a burgundy popping in there. You can see that. Yep, that's what it looks like right there. It's actually really pretty. I've gotten 3 repeats of the mesh pattern done, so you can see what that looks like there. Let me see if I hold it up against something colored. Okay, well, it takes away, but you can see what that mesh pattern looks like. It's a, no! Those are my show notes, and they just flew away because I have a fan on. Because today is August 2nd, and it is 78 degrees, but the real feel, which bugs the crap out of me. I hate, oh, okay, it switched. So it's 79 degrees now. The real feel is 84. In my opinion, the real feel needs to be the actual temperature, because it is not 79 degrees. It is hot. And it is hotter in my bedroom than it is anywhere else. Welcome to the north. Who'd have thunk? But I'm really liking the way that these colors are working. There you go, see? You can kind of see bits of the red like here. It just pops in at like really pretty places, and it's gonna look really nice in the fall. I'm gonna stock up on plain long sleeve shirts for the fall and winter, so I can decorate and accessorize with the shawls that I've been knitting. Because you guys saw I call it my Deku Tree shawl, because I'm nerdy like that. But it is the Elder Tree shawl, designed by Sylvia Bobilvia, also known as Soft Sweater on Instagram and everything. And I think that would look really good over either a black, a brown, or a white long sleeve shirt come the fall. Oh wait, I'm putting things away that I need. My brain is breaking, y'all. I'm sorry. The other thing that I've cast on, and let me rearrange myself, and I am really, really, really super duper in love with right now. Okay, I gotta fold my pattern here. It is a paid for pattern on Ravelry, $6. Honestly, it's the only pattern I've ever bought. It is called the Cameo Shawl by Paulina Popiolek. I'm sorry. Popiolek. I'll put it in the show notes. It's a garter stitch shawl. If you've knit any Martina Bem shawls, it is shaped a lot like the Hitchhiker, but it's got stripes and a lace border. So it's like a combination between the Hitchhiker and the Trillion. Sort of. That's the only way I can describe it. And you use 2 different colors of sock yarn, and you create the stripes and everything, and that's what it looks like. My printer was running out of toner, as you can see. You've got the one color A up here, color A and color B stripe here. Oh no, I'm sorry. Okay, color A comes to here. Color A and B stripe here, and then color B makes this lace border. And I love it. She used really light colors. I had 2 different types of Cascade sock yarn. I had Cascade Heritage sock in navy blue, and I had Cascade 220 fingering in something that starts with a P. Primavera. That's what it's called. And it's this lime green color. See, like this? I know y'all have seen it before. I have another skein of it right here. Oh, I could probably even tell you. Yeah, Cascade 220 fingering Primavera. It's 100% Peruvian Highland wool. So I'm going to have superwash and non-superwash together. But that's okay. I don't throw my stuff, my hand knits, in the wash. It is 50 grams, 1.75 ounces per skein, 273 yards. And that's what the Primavera looks like. I've already used the navy blue, so I can't show it to you in a ball. I could, but my scrap ball is like that big. So, oh, and I got fluff on it. But I have finished 2, I've got a mess. Don't you love it when the yarn, fairies get into your knitting and don't pick up after themselves? But this, it's quite big. This is the navy blue. It looks almost black, but it's got this really pretty picot border that you actually knit in with the work. But I just love the way that these 2 colors work together. Because, I mean, it almost looks black, but it's not. It's very something. Like, this is a 47-inch needle, and if I stretch it, it will go off of the needles. And, I mean, like, I can already, let me figure this out. I can already wrap it around my shoulders like this, and I still have the lace to do. So it's gonna be quite nice, and it's really soft, and I think it'll look really good, wrapped around. I'm gorgeous. Sorry, that was really funny. No, I'm really liking it. It's fairly quick knit because it's all garter. The thing that I did, I modified it just a touch because I hate, with the passion, weaving in ends. That is the thing I hate most. I plan that the only ends that I'm going to have to weave in at the end are my beginning tail and my ending tail. Because the way it's supposed to be done is when you switch colors in this striped section, you're supposed to cut it and then weave the ends in at the end. And no. There's 22 stripes. That's 44 ends to weave in. Absolutely not. No. So what I did, and it created this really pretty edge, is I just carried it up I carried it up the side because it switched every other row essentially. So I just carried it up the side like that, and it created this really pretty chain effect on that section. And it stretches. It's not like it's not gonna give out or anything. Let's show it to you on the good side. How about that? But that's been getting the most of my love for the past. I cast it on Monday, I think. I'm trying to look down on my my show notes fell on the floor, and so I'm kind of trying to look at them, but I'm not wearing my glasses because they have a glare. So I'm trying to just like peek down and see. And I think I've covered everything. So my last project, which is also an FO, I know you guys have probably seen it a couple of times. I'm not too sure. I was knitting a sockhead hat. The last time you guys saw it, I think it was about to here. I was knitting it at church because I'm one of those terrible people who knits in church. Actually, for me, it's not a bad thing because if I can keep my hands busy, I get distracted really, really easily. So if I can keep my hands busy with something, I have a better shot at paying attention to what my pastor's telling me. And it works because I have a terrible memory anyway because of the my CHM and the medications I'm on. I'm done for. I can't remember anything. But I finished it, so it is an FO, and I love it. It is out of a Cascade. I think it's Cascade Heritage Paints. I'm not sure. But I actually wore it. I finished it in church on Sunday, and I wore it home, and it was like 80 degrees. My mom's like, "Aren't you hot?" And I'm like, "Yes." But I'm wearing it. I finished it. And I love it. I can't wait to wear it, when it's not 94 degrees in my house. Like, I did my hair, and it's awful. I may just have to pull it up. So ignore me for like half a second because this is... And I did my nails, and so it's getting caught all up in my... See? My sister's got 300 bottles of nail polish, at least. And so pretty much when I hang out with her every other day, we do our nails. And so this week, or yesterday, this is... She could tell you the names of every single one of these bottles. We did a game out of it the one day where I would reach into her nail polish. She's got this giant duffel bag that she puts all her nail polishes in. And I would reach in randomly and pull out colors, and she knew the names of each of them. It was insane. But this is a pure ice, and it's chrome. It's silver. It's a shiny silver. And then this is... Maurice has had their own line of nail polish recently. And this is like a purple blue glitter. I love it. So, yeah. Anyway, so now that's done, I will move on to my spinning. First, because I have it handy, I will show you the stuff I was working on my drop spindle. I was actually able to get a lot of spinning done on my spindle. See that? Check that out. I couldn't tell you how many yards that is. It's packed on there pretty nice. It is, crap. I have a fan blowing, so it's blowing my fluff everywhere. It's done with this. It is just a green. It's like a cotton candy green with some gold and green Angelina glitz in it. It was the first fluff I'd ever hand carded. Or not hand carded. Yeah, no, I'd used a drum carder. I have a friend, she was teaching me how to use a drum carder, and she taught me to use it, and that is what we did. And so she gave it to me as a gift, as a surprise gift, and so I'm spinning it. I probably won't get very many yards out of it because it was only like a couple of ounces. But who knows? I'll probably finish it up and knit something for her out of it. the other stuff, let me pull it all out handy. I took it to my spinning guild meeting on Wednesday night, and so I could show it all off. The first thing I finished was this lovely skein. I am in love with it. It is 2 ounces of wool because I measured. I got 170 yards. It's 2-ply. It's about a DK weight. Let me see if I can, because I put the tag on it. This is not going to be pleasant. And I haven't yet soaked, but I mean it's pretty fairly balanced. It was basically just a mix of stuff that I had dyed. So I've got lots of different colors in there. It was a lot of fun. I might knit something for my niece out of it. She's a year and a half, so she might find something fun. Of course, with it being 100% wool, I may have to make something felted for her out of it. So, yep, there it is. It's lovely. It was a lot of fun. The other thing I'd finished, I got this skein. This I had finished, and it was, if you remember, I was spinning the mermaid hair wool that I had dyed. I split the skein in half, or the braid in half. So this was 2 ounces. I got 390 yards when I applied it. So I only spun the first half. So I got 390 yards, and I'd say it's about a lace weight because of how many, oh, my tag came off. That's okay. I can put it back on. No harm, no foul. But I was quite, and see, I think I'm getting better at my spinning because it's really fairly balanced. And you can see the colors in it. It's a lot of blues. It's very coastal. A lot of greens, a lot of blues, hints of purple, and hints of pink. Like there's some fluorescent pink. And I love the way it barber pulled on those colors. I really liked it. So I'm going to spin the other half of it and see where, I'm going to try to get the same amount of yardage, otherwise I'm going to have to figure out what to knit with 390 yards of lace weight yarn. How is it that my things never come out pretty in the end? I can never do this right. Somebody find a tutorial and show me how to do this, because I can't. I'm always really terrible at rescanning my hanks. Cause see, I always, what am I doing here? I don't even know. But that is that. This was the first stuff I'd actually fully finished for TDF. I was super excited about it. This is 4 ounces. It's a wool, merino, and alpaca blend. I got 550 yards of 2-ply. So it's about a heavy lace or a light fingering. It's a pretty lavender color. In some light it almost looks gray. And it was really thin, and it's very soft. I got a huge bag of this mix of stuff, and the skeins were all it was a bunch of mixed balls and everything, all natural color in this one ball of lavender fluff. So I spun the lavender fluff first to see what it would look like and everything, and I'm quite in love with it. This is what the natural looks like, and I spun 3 skeins of this, and I've got 1 skein of this. I'm gonna dye because I've still got, see, because look, This is all the same blend. One of these skeins is, I think it's this skein, is 625 yards, but it's all the same blend. These three are just the natural color, and I've still got 5 more balls of the fluff. So I've got, well, 4.5. So I've got 12 ounces. So I'm gonna dye another ball of the fluff this color, and I'm going to spin everything, and I think I'm gonna knit a sweater out of it. Trying to think, because I think that's it. But yeah, these are the same blend as the purple. 2 of them I got 550 yards, which I found fantastic because I've never spun that evenly before, that I would get 3 skeins of the same fiber, the same yardage, and one of them was 625. But I honestly think it was a bigger, so I'm going to have to re-weigh it just to be sure. But yeah, that's kind of all I got done. I did watch some podcasts. I've been watching, my new favorite podcast that I watch is the Bakery Bears podcast. Dan and Kay are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Love them to death. They're hilarious. Especially, oh my gosh, it's a good podcast. It's on YouTube, so if you go find it, search Bakery Bears podcast. They've got the little bear on their logo, like a little teddy bear. Kay knits these little bears, and they are absolutely adorable. I love them. They are so cute. I also watch the Must Stash podcast with Stacy and Stephanie. Brilliant. I love it. What are the other ones I watch? I love Amy Beth with the Fat Squirrel Speaks. She's amazing. I love Dawn and her husband of Wolf Farms. They have a podcast, Wolf Farms Podcast. All of these are on YouTube, except Dawn's. That one's at Wolf Farms, wolf-farms.net. You can find them all on Ravelry. And then the other one I watch is the Penguin Soup Podcast, which is also on Instagram, or YouTube is what I meant to say. I'm peeking at my notes that are on the floor. But that's pretty much it. The last thing I wanted to talk about is upcoming towards the end of August is the Michigan Fiber Festival in Allegan County. And I will probably be going with my spinning guild, my spinning and knitting guild. So if any of y'all are going and you're in the Michigan area and you're going to go to the Fiber Festival, hit me up. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Ravelry, and maybe we can do a meetup or something, because I like meeting people. Y'all are fun. Me, I'm just weird. Also, the St. Joseph County Fair is in September, because I live in St. Joseph County, Michigan. We're right here. That's where we are. And I will be spinning and knitting with my spinning guild. We have a booth at the fair every year. So if any of y'all are in the area and you want to come to the fair, to our fair, I will be there Monday through Thursday, all day, from 9 a.m. from open to close is when I'll be there. You're more than welcome to stop by and say hi, and I will take you for an elephant ear, because that's what our fair is known for. You can tell we're a little farming community. It's great. But yeah, I think that's it. I've talked more this time than I have the last couple times. So I will do some editing, and I will see you guys in a couple weeks. Bye. Happy knitting.